Hi everyone, it's Sherry again from Sherry's Sweet Sensations, back with you for another amazing video. Let me start out by saying Happy Thanksgiving to you. Also with Miss Chris making your dinner. I know she is making some wonderful, wonderful dishes, and I'm sure you'll be sure to try those out. So here's your dessert, and it is an all-time favorite. It is a German chocolate cake, and it's my spin on it. It's actually my mother's spin on it, the way she used to make it years ago. Let's get started. I'm going to start off by having flour, which I have gone ahead and sifted. This is cake flour, not all-purpose flour. And in this cake flour, I've added 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and I've also added a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I've sifted all of those together in this bowl. And then I have 2 sticks of unsalted butter, which I've chosen unsalted because we have salt in the flour mixture here. Next, we have 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of buttermilk. We're going to use a teaspoon of vanilla. And over here we have 4 eggs, but we just want to use the yolks for the cake. And then we're going to take the whites for the cake as well, and that's going to give the cake a lighter consistency to it. So I wanted to show you with the last one how to separate your eggs. So you're just going to hit it on the side of your bowl. Try to make yourself a clean break in the middle, and then you're just going to take the egg yolk back and forth inside of the eggshell until you have the egg yolk alone, and that's what you want. And you're going to put it over here, and we're going to save our egg whites, as I said, for the last part of the cake, which is what's going to give it the light texture to it. Also, another ingredient for the cake is chocolate. I've gone ahead and melted the chocolate in a 1/2 cup of water. This is the chocolate that you're going to use, Baker's German Sweet Chocolate. This is the chocolate you want to buy, and you're going to melt the whole bar in a saucepan or a small skillet. Now for your frosting, you're going to have 1½ cups of sugar. You're going to have 7 ounces of coconut. You're going to have 1 can of evaporated milk. You're going to have 1½ cups of chopped pecans. Now, you know you can buy the pecans in the store in the bag, and they say chopped pieces or pieces. No, you need to take that bag, bring it home, and put it inside of a food processor, because you're going to need the pecans to be at a more, how do I say it, a more granulated, well, not actually granulated, but you're going to need it at a finer texture than what's in the store. Now, you're also going to need 4 egg yolks that we're going to whisk lightly with a small whisk. Here we go. And then you're going to need 1.5 sticks of butter. Also, we're going to put our frosting mixture in a heavy-duty pan. This is a pan actually that my mom gave to me. It's called Magnolite, and it's real heavy. It's a heavy-duty saucepan. So, I mean, I make a lot of things in it, but it's a very, very good pan. So you want one of these to actually do your pecan frosting in. And we're going to get started. Okay, everyone, I'm back. Here we are over at the mixer. We're going to put in our 2 cups of sugar, which I've already done. This is just a little secret about the butter. If you'd like to get it at room temperature quicker and not use your microwave, just take the butter out of its wrapper and then take a knife and go down the butter and just make little slices into the butter all the way to the end, and that will bring your butter to room temperature a lot quicker than just sitting on top of on the counter. So that's just a little tidbit on that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our butter into the bowl as well. And once we've done that, we're going to do our famous creaming method. Remember, I told you in the other videos, it takes a while to cream butter and sugar. You don't want to just do it for 5 minutes, so we're going to do that and let that come up until it's nice and fluffy and creamy. And I told you it takes a good 5 or 6 minutes on medium. So I'm not going to bore you with this. We're going to come back and we'll have this creamed up and nice and fluffy, and then we'll go from there. Be right back. Okay, everyone, next we're going to take our eggs and add them one at a time, if we're lucky. Okay, we got that one. Excuse the noise. Go ahead and incorporate that in really well. We have 4 of them, so the next one. Thirdly, and it's okay if 2 drop in at, it's okay if 2 drop in at one time. So there we go. We get that mixed up really good. Now mind you, I did go ahead and melt this chocolate, but it was a while ago. You want to make sure your chocolate is nice and cool, that it's at room temperature. It's not supposed to be hot going into this mixture. So you want to make sure your mixer is on a lower speed so you won't have it splattering out of your bowl everywhere. So we're just going to pour that in gently. Make sure you get all that goodness. Okay, there we go. Take that out of the way. Excuse the noise. Now we're going to go ahead and incorporate our flour into this mixture. A little bit about the flour. You want to add your flour and your buttermilk alternatively, or in other words, you know, add one and then add the other. You're going to start off with flour first, and then you're going to come with your buttermilk. So let's just pour a little bit of flour into this. Okay. And to get that going, you're going to mix it on low, because if not, you're going to have a flour shower. Just, you know, pulse it back and forth to get it incorporated there. All right. Next, you're going to take your buttermilk and slowly pour half of it in. Get it going around. I know so many people that are waiting for this recipe. I sell cakes, and this is one that I use. But I'm going to give it to you. This is Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful for everything that I've been blessed with over my life. So give, and it shall be given unto you. Okay, so we're going to turn that off, and here we go. We're going to put another. We're going to always start with flour and end with flour. So we're going to put just a little bit more in. And then we're going to start it back up. Again, pulsing on just to get that flour going so it won't get all over your work surface. There we go. Now we're going to put in the remainder of our buttermilk. Again, being careful to have that on low speed so that it won't splatter all over your counter. Okay, now we're going to put in our last addition of the flour. There we go. Let's see here. There we go. And again, oops, excuse me. And again, we're going to pulse this to get it going. There we go. Our last addition of the flour added. Okay. And at this point, we're going to stop. We're going to lift the mixer, and you see all the flour up at the top around the rim. Here's where you want to come in with your spatula. And we want to get that down so that we can make sure we have all of the flour and all of the ingredients incorporated. So just go around your bowl, get under the bowl as well, and make sure all of that's in there. Okay? Even on your beaters, you have some flour sitting up there as well. Okay, now let's get that going again, and you'll see the difference. Okay, Now we're going to go ahead and add those egg whites. That's going to be folded into this, not mixed into this. You're going to fold it with your, you're going to fold it with this, not the mixer, okay? You can do it, but it's not recommended, okay? So I'll be right back. We're going to start with the egg whites. Okay, everyone, I'm back, and here we are with the new bowl. And this bowl has our egg whites. Those are the 4 egg whites that we separated from the yolks. We have a different kind of blender on here because we want to beat these. So now we're going to turn this on, and we're going to get us some beautiful stiff piece of egg whites. And I'll be back when it's almost there because it takes a while for this to work. Okay, everyone, we're there. I just wanted you to see what it's looking like in my bowl. Those egg whites have beaten up really, really nice. And this is what they're going to look like when you're done. You should have a nice stiff peak as such. And now we're going to fold this into our cake. Okay, everyone, now we are going to go ahead and do what's called folding of the egg whites into our batter. You're not going to put all the egg whites in at once. You're just going to start out very small. And then you're going to do what's called folding. It's actually folding your batter over the egg whites. You can punch them down, it's fine. But you don't want to you don't want to stir. You want to just fold your batter over. Folding it over, as I'm doing here, until the egg whites are in the batter. So this is called folding. See how it's going into the batter? Fold, turn, and push in. Turn, push in. Turn it, push it in. Turn it, push it in. Just like as such. Take some more and just repeat the process, and I'll be back once I get it all in there. Okay, I wanted to bring you back to show you, just in case you were getting a little nervous, of what this is looking like as you get closer to the end. See, I still have a little. Just turn, pull over, down, go right through it. It's okay if you turn, kind of like you do macaroons. Turn, go through it, because you want those egg whites to get all through the batter, but just don't stir. When I say, stirring is like this. You don't want to do that. You want to go round and through, around and through. And see, now all our egg whites have been incorporated into the batter. And your batter now is fluffier, it's creamier, it's lighter. So now we are ready. And it's okay if you see a few little egg whites still through there, but we want to try to get them all in as I've done right here. See? There you go. So now we're going to take our 2 pans. I'm using 2 8-inch pans, but the recipe will allow you to use 3 9-inch pans. I like a very tall cake, so that's why I'm doing it this way, just for me, for tonight. For tonight, I'm going to use 2 8-inch pans, and inside these pans, I have parchment rounds. You can order these online, and I'll leave a link to where you can get them. They're so handy that you can just put them right in the bottom of your pan and just put your frosting right in, your batter right in, excuse me. Now you want to put this in evenly. Again, never come up to the top of your pan because it won't bake properly. You want to try to get around halfway is best, halfway. That way your cake will bake properly. So you just take that and go right around your pan just to get it onto the sides there. Now these are 2-inch high, 2 inches high, and 8 inches round. This is going to give you a nice size cake. But the recipe will allow you to put into 3 9-inch layers, but your layers are going to be thinner. So here we are. I think I have just a little bit more in this one than I do the other one. And if you want to be exact, you can use a scale to make sure you have everything even. But we're just going to eyeball this tonight and get it in there nice and even. Then you can take a knife to avoid those air bubbles and go down your cake like this and come this way with it. Same thing over here, Just gives it a place for the air to escape. And just hit it on the counter, like so. Going to bake your cake on 350 for 30 minutes. And once it's done, I'm going to come back to you with the finished cakes. And while that's baking, we're going to go ahead and get our frosting together. Be right back.